Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. It smells so delicious. Oh my goodness, the flavors. This is really good. Amazing. Look at that. So moist, buttery. Definitely have to try this at home. Hi, my name is Anna. I've been baking for the past 20 years. I've developed a passion for baking from my Italian parents. So join me for some delicious, quick, authentic recipes. I have hundreds to choose from and to share with you. So whether you're just starting out or have an interest in baking, follow me and we'll get inspired. Benvenuti. Today we're making Italian Easter bread with ricotta cheese and lemon zest. So for this recipe, you'll need butter, flour, lemon zest, sugar, yeast, eggs, vanilla, ricotta cheese, and milk. I'll have the full recipe at the end. Okay, so we're going to start by melting our butter and warming it with our milk. Put it at very low. So I'm going to put it at 2, the lowest. Okay, we're going to start by mixing our ricotta cheese while we're waiting for our butter. So you're going to mix ricotta cheese and sugar and some lemon zest. I love lemon in any recipe, especially with spring just around the corner. Such a really nice dessert. There we go. I'm just gonna incorporate all that. So you just want a hint of lemon. You can see that beautiful lemon zest in there. Just mix it with a spatula because you want to just incorporate everything. There we go. We'll set that aside and we'll go check on our butter. Okay, so your butter is melted, your milk is warmed up. We're going to put it into the mixing bowl and we're going to let that just cool just a little because you see how there's a bit of steam there. We're going to put in the yeast, but we don't want to put it when it's really hot. So we'll give that a few minutes and then we'll sprinkle the yeast in there. So we're going to beat our eggs. And at this stage, you can add a splash of vanilla, a splash or 2. Who doesn't like vanilla? There we go. We'll set it aside and we'll see how our milk is doing. Okay, so now we're going to sprinkle your yeast in here and your sugar. So what I'm going to do is just stir it a little so it's all mixed nicely. There we go. So we're going to leave that for a few minutes till the yeast gets activated. So we'll get that nice and bubbly a little bit. So we'll be right back with that. Okay, so our butter and yeast are ready. We're going to put in our eggs. So now we're going to put this on our mixer. And we're going to use the hook. So it's a pretty simple recipe. It just takes a bit of time. So we're going to and let that mix for a bit. Just a few spins here. And then we're going to add our flour. We're going to add a half a cup at a time, or a cup, like I am. So be sure to stop your machine. go. And we'll also have some extra flour. I'll have that at the end of the recipe as well, how much extra flour I'm using. And you want it to make sure it forms a dough. So it's nice and incorporated. So you see how the dough is sticking to the bowl? You want to make sure it releases. And then that's when you know your dough is ready, and it has to be smooth as well. Okay, so now we're going to turn it over on your counter, your surface, your table, and we're going to knead it just a bit. There we go. Okay, so your dough is ready, and we're just going to knead it a little bit. So put some flour so it doesn't stick to your counter, your table, or my silicone mat here. So, and just work it. I wore gloves this way. My hand won't get all sticky. See how smooth it is? So we'll just keep, what I like to do is turn it over. There we go. We will use this. We'll put some flour on it so your dough doesn't stick. So we're gonna let this rest for about an hour and a half, and then we'll come back to it. So I'm going to cover it and keep it in a warm area, so away from any windows. This way your yeast, your dough is gonna rise. Okay, so our dough is ready and rested. I'm gonna cut it, divide it in two. I'm gonna cover that one. And then we're gonna divide it into 3 pieces. Perfect. So you've got 3. So just keep it nice and tight. You see that? Okay. Again, you'll have a surface, because sometimes the dough is soft. So just grab it, roll it actually, where you cut it. Just press down firmly, and then keep your hand over the dough and just do a tight circle. There you go. And just do that, so nice and tight. Third one. It's really nice if you make it a day ahead. You can put it in the fridge before you bake it. That's what I like to do, is I make my dough. If I have more time one day than the other, then I put it in the fridge and take it out about, I'd say, an hour and a half before, and bring it to room temperature a bit, not so cold, and then just brush it and pop it in the oven, and you've got fresh Easter bread. And you're gonna do roll all 3 out individually. So also try to make it a little bit even from center to the ends. Sometimes the dough wants to stretch, wants to come back to you. Don't worry, you just keep rolling. Last one. They look like about the same length. Perfect. So then once you're ready, you're going to twist them. So you're going to put all those 3 together, and then just like braiding. Okay, so keep braiding. You want to make a tight braid. And if you want, you could also pull, okay, as you're braiding. Okay, and then when you get to the end, just give it a pinch, and there goes your loaf. I'm gonna put 2 there. There we go. Let's do our second one. So we've got our dough. Again, you're going to put the 3 together, bind it, and now we're going to put ricotta cheese in here. So what I like to do is make my first braid. Get the ricotta cheese. Okay. So I put it in the center and just braid it. This way you get the cheese all around, okay? Not to worry, it's all good. So that's one way. You want to bake it together. So what I like to do is we're going to fill it with ricotta cheese. Just cut it right in the center. So we're going to get some ricotta. You don't want a whole lot, but enough that you can taste it and add so much more to this Easter bread. So all you do is just stretch the dough. If you want to flatten it out, you can. So basically you're going to fold over. Not to worry, some seeps out. Normally, sometimes I get a piping bag and just pipe it all in there. Again. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to braid this all together. And it's nice once it bakes, it all opens up. So we'll let this rest for a bit, and we're going to bake once it's ready. Okay, so it's ready. We're gonna brush it with some egg wash. And then we'll bake it. It's already starting to smell so good. Be gentle, you don't want it to deflate. So put that in the oven and we'll bake it for 30 minutes. Now we're gonna make some mini ones, and we're just gonna get 2 of our dough forms. And again, same idea, you're gonna roll it, make a tight ball, and get the second one. There you go. Once you start, you don't want no flour, otherwise it's gonna slide away. So you wanna make a nice tight ball. There we go. So then you're gonna grab the first one. And again, you're going to roll it out. It's gonna be a bit thinner. So make sure you press down and out. So I'm going to divide it in 2. So you're gonna grab these 2, put them together, and you're gonna twist. So you're gonna twist, 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 like making twist donuts. There we go. And you're gonna roll it, pinch it together. Then twist, twist, twist. You grab this one, put it together. Twist, twist, twist. Don't worry, once it bakes, it all looks the same. There we go. And then we're gonna let that relax and double in size. There's so many different ways to make them. So I put ricotta on this one. So I'm gonna brush this one and we're gonna add some sprinkles, make it a little bit more festive. You can also top it with some coarse sugar. That's always a nice addition. So, and a lot of, some people make put chocolate chips inside their dough, so you can do whatever you like. So I decided to make it a little bit plain, just vanilla. I like those. You can go with sprinkles. Sprinkles are, I associate these sprinkles with Easter and Christmas. That's what we use. Growing up, we've always used these sprinkles on our cookies, our Easter bread. Awesome. Okay, all ready. So we're ready to bake this one. And we'll bake it for 30 minutes. There we go. Oh, wow. That's ready. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, our Easter bread are ready. I have here with the recipe I made, you get 2 loaves and 6 buns, but I went ahead and made another batch. And I wanted to show you that you can do one with ricotta cheese and sprinkles. You could make another one a bit darker. And of course, I made the buns a little bit larger. So you can do whatever you feel. I'll have the measurements, the weights at the end, along with the recipe. If you wanted to make smaller Easter bread, go right ahead. You just weigh out your dough a little bit lighter. If you want them to, even the buns, if you want them heavier, definitely you could do whatever you like. Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. It smells so delicious. Oh my goodness, the flavors. This is really good. Amazing, look at that. So moist, buttery. Definitely have to try this at home. So if you enjoyed this recipe, like and subscribe. Your support is so encouraging.